I know, right? What are readable names? Everybody scream. What the hell is that? Yeah. I'm here to show you a secret about how I handle data in Excel as a data analyst. There are different ways that people use Excel, right? Excel is a very big tool, that's one. And because Excel is a tool that is being used on a daily basis, right? I feel, I feel that the way a data analyst should handle data in Excel should be completely different from how a data analyst, someone who is not a data analyst would handle data in Excel. And I am here right now to teach you those special tips that you're not going to find anywhere. Well, you probably will not find this anywhere, but this is how to handle data in Excel as a data analyst, like a pro. All right, so I have a data set here, which is on house prices. So right here we have the price, living area, probably the size of the living area, the size of the bathroom, how many bedrooms, the lot size, the age of the house, and if the house has a fireplace or not. So, now there are different ways to handle data. When working with Excel, when you have data like this is a spreadsheet. Now, the first 101 tip on how to, actually, this is me whispering. First 101 tip on how to work with data in Excel is that data is best to work with when it is in a table. Yeah, when it is in a table, that means that when working with Excel and you have data like this on your spreadsheet, it's a no no. Like, don't start working with data like this. I mean, do not start doing calculations, for example, equal to sum, like, trying to find things like this. No, don't do this. First things first, take this data and put it as a table. I'm saying create a table in Excel. All right. To create a table in Excel, well, maybe you know how to do this, and just like you can skip the step, but it's fine if you don't know how to do this. Anyway, so to create a table in Excel, so I'm gonna start from price, which is the first column on the spreadsheet. Then I'm going to hold Shift and Control together. Then I'm using the arrow keys on my keyboard to move. Now, if I'm moving, because I want to move from A to G, I'm going to use my right arrow key because I'm moving to the right. And I want to move from row 1 to the end of my data. My data on the spreadsheet. So I'm going to use the downward arrow. Oh, the down arrow, yeah. And after this, so I'm going to go to insert. On insert, I would see table, and I'm going to click on table. Yes, so it says where is the data for your table. Now, because we already did a highlight of the data, so we have the array right here, and of course the data has headers. So just click on OK. All right. Now there is a difference between this table right here and this blue colored area and this white color area, but then I'm gonna get to that. First things first, we want to save our table in Excel. Now, on my ribbon right here, I'm going to go on table design and click on it. Now I would see table name towards the extreme left corner. It says table 2. I'm going to erase the name out there. then I will put house underscore prices and I would save, press enter to save. Now, the truth is that there's a difference between this white and this blue. The difference is the white is a spreadsheet and the blue is actually a table. To tell you the difference, now if I can, I'm going to create a new sheet and I'm going to call it QT. Now, Excel does not really understand when you name a sheet. Excel does not save that because it doesn't see it. Now, QT, and to show you this, I'm going to go to formula. And on the formula, I'm going to go to name manager. I'm going to select it. And what do you see here? House prices. Now, house prices is the name of the table that we saved, the table name. But can you see QT anywhere? No. So QT is nowhere to be found. But yeah, we can see house prices. Another confirmation. So I'm going to go on QT. Well, hello QT. And on Qt, I'm just going to use the equal to sign and I'm going to call house prices like I'm in a shrine and I'm trying to, summon. And what can you see here? Like Excel gives you an option and it has a table icon that comes with it called house prices. And I can just press my tab key to select it and press enter. Well, of course, it's going to give me zero because that's a whole table. But let me try QT. Like, hey QT, where are you? There's no QT to be found in Excel's. Well, I call it database, but I think it has a better name for it anyway. Storage. Okay, so this is just a sheet name, and this is a table. Now, when I'm working with data in Excel, I try as much as possible to make my columns readable. Now, someone who understands this might be like, "Oh, why are you trying to make the columns readable? When you have a table, you could just work with the table." And yeah, I agree with you, but there are different ways you can make or you can work with readable columns or readable names, like I like to call it, in Excel. So yeah, this is the first one. So I'm going to rename this. I'm going to call it workspace because I'm going to be working here. Okay. So let's do the first example. Okay, so I'm going to call this average. So let's assume that we want to calculate the average house price, right? So the average house price, yeah. And of course, I want to get my data from here, so I'm just going to say equal to. I'm going to call average function, and I will go to house prices. Then I'm going to select. So I could do this where I'm selecting the column from infinity that's on the A and close the bracket and press enter. If I do this, I'm gonna have this. Well, this is a little bit readable, and the reason why I'm saying that is because everyone knows that okay, you got this data from this sheet right here, house prices, but they don't definitely don't understand what AA is. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to copy out this column price and just see. Then I'm going to open a different sheet, and I'm going to paste. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to call this trial. I will just call it worst case because this is a worst case situation. I mean, yep. So I'm just going to call it worst case. I'm not sure to. Alright, worst case. Yeah, and okay, so I'm going back to workspace. Yeah. So I'm going back to workspace and still on calculating the average house price, I'm just going to again find the average. So I'm going to say average, then I'm going to go to worst case. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to select from the price from row 2 to row 1048. So I'm going to press enter. And let's go back. Even the worst case, like we're seeing average worst case, which is the sheet name, and we're seeing A2 to A1048. Like, what does that mean? No one understands it. Well, you can say, people are not going to see that. Yeah, I agree with you, but I mean, if you're collaborating with someone and or you are working on the same project as somebody, or you worked on a project and someone is coming to overlook your work and they need to understand some of the things that you've done, and they see A2 to A1048, it's going to be very hard to really understand what you've done at a glance. What will happen is they have to go back to the sheet and go and find where it what is A2, and they'll be like, oh, A is price, okay, then they probably meant a like price, average price, yeah. Well, and well, I think I'm hearing someone whisper like, okay, I've made it readable by saying average house price, but I'm talking about technical aspect here. So what we can do is try to make this readable. Now, because we are working with a table, this is why I made the statement that data is best work with, or is best to work with, sorry, when it's in a table. So what I can do is where I have average house price. So again, I'm going to find the average. So I'm going to call the name of the table house prices. Okay. Then I'm going to select with my tab key. Now I'm going to use a square bracket. Now once I open a square bracket, Excel is going to give me all the names of the features on that table. Now, why would you want to do something that's so exclusive as this? Anyway, so Excel would give all the features on the table, and all I have to do is just go and double click on price and close the square bracket and close the round bracket. Oh wow, can I see that you are doing something that is in Power BI, like the same way you write DAX in Power BI in Excel? Oops, I think someone is offended. I'm just joking. It's just that just this thing where people feel like, oh, like we write DAX in Power BI, it's completely different from how it works in Excel, but there's nothing different, like really nothing different. This is it. And I'm gonna press enter. What can you see? The same thing. Now, but what's the difference? This says average house price. Very clear and defined. This says worst case. Well, that's because of the sheet, but I'm seeing A2 to A1048. And what does that mean anyway? And right here, I'm seeing house price AA. Still, what does that mean? All right, so there's another one. So let's assume that we're not working with a table, right? Now, there's something called a name box in Excel, right here. It's called a name box. Where you have C9 close to the formula bar. Yes, so this is called a name box in Excel, and I can make a column readable, or I can give a column a name. That way, it will be very easy for me to work with a column in Excel. Now you can give a column a name, you can give a row a name, you can name an array using the same method, and you can name a cell using the same method. So all I have to do is So let's say I want to select this column from infinity anyway. So I'm just going to select A. And where I have A1, which is a name box, I'm going to erase the name there and I'm going to put. So I want to give it a name that's quite different from what Excel understands the table column to be. So I'm just going to put H underscore instead of a space. So I'm going to put H price and I'm going to press enter to save. And I'm going to go back to my workspace, just still calculating the average house price. So I'm going to say equal to average, everything for average use today. So equal to average, and all I have to do is just call H price. Then I can close the bracket and press enter. So yeah, this is quite readable. This is a name that I've given it anyway. H price. Like anyway, I just call H price. I don't have to even. I have no business with the sheets. So far, I know what I'm doing. Then this is it. Average house prices as a table and price as a column, or average H price as the name that I gave a column. These two, I'm gonna put them in green because we've achieved something good. And this two is a complete no. So I'm gonna put them. I want to put them in red, but I'll just give it a one inside. This is what I'm feeling. Red. No.